What's up, buddy?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. What's up is we're gonna go scout out some new hunting land that this buddy of mine just graciously so told me that I could come check out.
Yeah.
And since it's been so dang dry, we're gonna check the water holes first. We're in central Missouri, August 30th. We're just doing a little scouting for bow season coming up. This is a new spot to me, not a new spot to Sergeant Bradley over here. However, he was gracious enough to get me a little bit of permission to come out here and do some hunting. So they got a lot of land, a lot of woods, a lot of heavy woods. So we just need to find some good trails, put some cameras up, and hopefully we can find them in a hurry and get some hunting done this fall.
Oh yeah.
My face. The bad thing about all this tall shit here, if you actually shoot a deer, is tracking them through it unless you hit them really good. And the bad thing about all this tall shit is walking through it and getting your legs all wet. But deer probably bed right here on this back side of it because they're in the shade. It's damp. We got water right here, but I don't see any hard trails yet. Notice how all the grass is all beat down right here. It's tall back here. They don't walk back here as much. There's a trail going through. Kind of through that opening right there. The other pond's bigger than this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this one's got a buttload of frogs in it. If you like frog legs, this is where you go right here. And these trails are all kind of faint, but there's acorns everywhere. There's water up top. This seems like a spot where they would just bed on this hillside. Just hard to tell with everything grown up, I guess. That's Jimmy. He's a squirrel. He's chewing on a nut right now. That's what he's doing. That's Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy. Great trees in here. Probably just have to cut some shooting lanes if you were to hang one. That trail's not too wide on the other side, but if you were set up in here, I would say they would stay off that trail and walk through these woods going up to that pond. Deer will travel along a fence. They don't always hop over the fence. So it's almost like if you're creating that barrier and you have them walk in a lane, you have them walking where you want them to go. So I like the fact that, but it's really low right there so they can walk right under it. But for future reference, looking at other fences on the property. And watch you drive by and you would never see them. Just hanging out right here in this thick stuff. You drive by, they walk out the other direction. You never knew they were here. Oh, good Lord.
On to spot number 2?
On the spot number 2.
All right, well now we got to spot number 2. We got to do a little walking, don't we?
Yes. Not very big at all. So one thing I've noticed though on this trail, or on the driving trail, there's not a whole lot of tracks. So it makes me think they're staying in the woods. baffling me. We'll figure it out though.
So we got 2 4-wheeler trails go through here. First one's right here, and then the second one is through this, and it'll loop around because the road over there will get really washed out. And then whenever we're coming down this side to hunt and shoot and all that stuff, we'll take that side. We can walk back up if we can walk back up that side.
Gotcha.
That way.
They all meet this road pretty much?
Yeah, it's gonna fork right down here.
Check this out. That's bigger than the tracks we saw before. Just a dainty doe walking through. I've seen a couple of deer so far that are starting to lose their velvet, and I've got deer on camera at another spot though that are still in velvet. So I wonder if they're going to start rubbing soon to get rid of it. Still kind of early, August 30th.
We do have a stand-up, or there's been a stand-up back there in the past.
Okay. I remember when we came out here to shoot, I was just looking off the platform at that back spot over there. I think got any deer that come to that corner of the pond. Now I'm not gonna screw up and use the wrong word. That is buck shit. See how it's all clumped together? It takes a man to let something like that out. The girls, they let out those little teeny ones. That's a buck. He let that big one out. Oh yeah. That's the third pile of buck crap we've had on this pond dam. So either he's just got the poos, or they're hanging out here a lot. He probably travels here a lot. I mean, wherever the food source is, and the water source, and all those cover, this is where we want to be. There's more. Dude. He doesn't just walk one time across here and poop that much. Bet he's not trying to walk through that. Unless there's hair on any of that barbed wire, which I don't see. Oh, okay, right here. A little bit of hair. So maybe he came under it. Possibility he came under that. Get off me. God, look how thick it is in there. So let's go that way. Not the crappy one. And there's a fence right here. This would be a corner of the deer turn. That's part of the reason I want that camera right there. But that could be a setup. Again, lots of acorns all over the ground. So there are going to be more acorns dropping in here. actually. That's a good trail. So this seems like, I mean, it's a pretty thick area, but there's ditches that run down in. There's a fence along the way. This is almost a funnel coming down here for the deer to go right out one way to go to that pond. They don't want to have to go out of their way over top of any obstacles to get to the pond, so as long as they're not alerted by us, this would be a good spot. This also could be something where we come in here and we hang a stand and we realize the deer are consistently walking a different path than we're wanting them to. And if that happens, obviously we'll pick up and move, but I feel like there's gonna be a lot of trial and error here. The 2-tree setup I was telling you about, I'm kind of leaning more toward buying another hang-on stand and putting them, stacking them. Because this is kind of a small tree, but this spot right here, like these trails coming down, going back toward the pond, going over and around all those cedar trees that are laying on the ground. But we could also do some trimming on some of these trees and make it work also. Bottom stand about there. And top stand for the video just above it, off to the side. The only problem is all these cedar trees with all these little limbs. Like, we'd have to do a little bit of trimming, I feel like. But this might be a good starting point. This tree right here. Get the map out. Every good soldier can read a map, especially when it's on an iPhone. The 13th. Let's come check these cameras.
All right.
Yeah?
I dig it.
Digging it. Where that camera is, we are not going to lose it. I marked it on my Google map where this camera is, and we're thinking about using that tree for our first set. And we could change our minds, but we have a lot of crap to carry out here for that first set. And I got to go buy another new stand. Oh no, sorry honey.
All right. Well, that is pretty much our morning.
Yeah, got 2 cameras set up. Got one possible setup spot. I think we're going to come back on the 12th, which is only 3 days before bow season. Check the cameras and determine if we want to set up there or not, or go a little deeper in the woods. But we'll figure it out pretty quick.
Right on. Till then, keep you updated on what we're doing. Might be another video to follow. Stay tuned.